Alright, and we're back today with day 7. Now, pretty much what's happened so far, I trying to knock out the whole Liyue quest line, so today was a long day. So far, pretty much what's happened was I made it to Liyue, they did the rite of ascension, giant dragon dropped out of the sky, and you know, that's Rex Lapis, so it's just like, oh no, Rex Lapis has been murdered. And also, look, there's that strange traveler that just entered the town. Maybe he did it, so now I'm trying to clear my name. So right now I'm talking to, like, you know, the other adepti around the area, because like Liyue is kind of like protected by these special beings, and Rex Lapis is kind of like the head contract guy. So with him being dead, now all the other adepti, they're like, man, we should just like wipe Liyue off the face of the earth. And then you kind of have like the people in Liyue, which are mortals, where they're kind of like, we can kind of handle things ourselves. So there's kind of like a giant conflict brewing, and I need to kind of be a mediator between all of these people. So let's see how this turned out. Here's where we get introduced to Zhao. Now, if you looked at my 2.4 live stream video, you see that he's getting a Rerun banner. Now, the thing about Zhao, he's an interesting character. He's really strong and everything, but with him being like a wind element DPS type of guy, he doesn't have reactions, which kind of lowers his damage, but he does so much damage it doesn't matter. But the one problem is energy recharge. That's usually the issues with most new units. They have energy recharge issues. So for like a brand new account, I don't really recommend Zhao, but you know, he's a fun character. You try him out in the trial, you'll probably like him, but to make him fully work, he needs a lot of investment, and it's probably not worth when you can just invest in a free character. Like the amount of investment you put in Zhao, you could put into Zhang Lee and probably do better. I didn't realize it before, but basically this Liyue quest shows like all the major 5-star characters in Liyue, and Child, he's underrated. I already talked about how great Zhang Lee is, you know, 4-star unit, but pretty much one of the reasons why Zhang Lee is so good is because he provides water, and Vaporize is one of the strongest reactions in Genshin. And there's not really many water units that generate a lot of Hydro. But Child, he actually does generate a lot of Hydro, but he's kind of like a weird character. Like most 5-star characters, you feel like they're like the main DPS, but really, like if you like pair Child with Zhang Lee or like Raiden or something like that, he boosts the damage of other characters, so that's what makes him really good. So a lot of people kind of be like, oh well, he's not that great because, you know, he's not doing a lot of damage, but really he's boosting the party's damage. So he's kind of like a weird support kind of unit, but you know, that's how you got to kind of look at Child. So Child's not actually a bad grab if you get him. Like, I'm not sure if you definitely want to pull for him, but if you do have him on your account, it's not bad. Now we got Zhang Lee over here. You see that he's coming up in the rerun coming up. Now Zhang Lee's an interesting case. Now he is like your strongest defense unit, biggest shields, but you know, being Geo can't really bring reactions. So yes, he can protect your team really well. You definitely want to build up that shield. He does have like a little petrify thing, but I kind of feel like he's kind of a constellation type of character where you might want to have at least a C2 or a C3 to really get the big benefit out of Zhang Lee. And then even still, it's just a defense type of benefit. If you're struggling in the Spiral Abyss, you're not able to clear times, you don't really want to increase your defense, you want to increase your damage. So really, like on my account, I use Zhang Lee, but I could just use another DPS unit and probably clear it faster. So you take that how you will. On top of that, Zhang Lee has some weird energy recharge issues to where like sometimes his elemental skill generates particles and sometimes it doesn't. I also have a Staff of Homa on my Zhang Lee, so it just makes him even stronger. But I mean, Staff of Homa on almost any character makes them stronger. So it's not really Zhang Lee, it's more Staff of Homa. So weapons play a big role and a lot of power for these characters. So again, if you're a brand new account and you're looking at getting Zhang Lee, you might want to consider how your other units are. Or if you're maybe playing on mobile, then yes, Zhang Lee is like the best character to get if you're actually playing this game on mobile. We finally made it to Madam Ping. This is the thing that you need to do so that we can actually do the Serenity Pot. If you remember my video day 1 where you saw me just hitting trees since I first started this account, this is why. You need to do a little mini quest with her, and then eventually that leads you to where you can unlock the Serenity Pot, and you have to pretty much go and kind of play Animal Crossing inside the world. I'm not crazy about it, but it gives you a lot of resources, so you want to kind of get on it. I think currently, right now, I think I got it up to Trust Rank 6. I'm personally just like buying a bunch of like speed up vials. You can also use other people, like friends, to like speed up your creations, but you generally want to get that trust rank and the amount of items you can put in the world as fast as you can, so that way you're getting the most resources you can, because it does give you quite a bit. And when you're trying to like level up a brand new account and get characters, you can like plant flowers and stuff, so it's very good to have. This quest is kind of annoying. Like, essentially Child gives you some money to haggle with the workers around Liyue to get them to do stuff, but you know, if you try to be too cheap, they get mad, and if they get too mad, they're like, no, you got to give me 15,000, and you lose like almost all your money if you keep doing that. So it's kind of annoying because you're like, yeah, I want to kind of keep most of the money, but you know, I don't want to make them mad, and then you like keep trying to like slightly increase it to keep the money, and then eventually they just kind of get mad. Like, what I suggest is that you probably, if you really want to get the most money you can, just go online, look up this quest, and then you'll find something that tells you this is how much you can offer without them being mad at you, and you can get the most money that you can. But it's just, it's not probably worth spending that time just to do it. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy to get money with events and everything, so you're usually not that pressed for money if you're leveling up your characters properly. Chi-Chi. Yep, like, that is probably one of the worst 5 stars that you can get when you lose the 50-50. If you saw my Ito Rose, I got Chi-Chi. Now, I really wanted Jean on my main account, but I can't ever get it. I mainly always just get Diluc, but yeah, Chi-Chi's probably the worst to get. She's a really good healer, but one of her biggest issues is, again, you guessed it, energy recharge. So she can't really cast her burst, which mainly gives her her big heals, and because of that, that makes her not as usable. Plus, once you kind of get towards the end game with Genshin, you don't really need healing that much, especially when you have Bennett. Jean was really good like at the start, but technically she even kind of got replaced by a 4-star, where you can kind of get Diona, and if you get a lot of constellations on Diona, you know, like a max constellation Diona is probably better than a Jean, but Jean has Viridescent Veneer. Like, that's what kind of makes her at least a little relevant. So she's not the worst healer, but she's not the best healer. Bennett's the best healer, and Diona probably second with constellations, and then Jean's probably like coming in at third. And a lot of times you can even kind of get away with no healer. Like, I know with like the Hu Tao team, and which even makes Xin Kui even more really good, where Xin Kui kind of heals a bit. So sometimes you just don't need a healer. You can just have pure damage and just kill everything. So it's one of those. Probably wondering who the green-haired guy is. Now, that's Baizo. When Genshin was kind of like in its early stages, we pretty much believed that this was going to be the new element that they bring to the game, Dendro. Like, if you probably fight some of the monsters, you got like that one like little Hilichurl which puts like plants on you, and then when you get hit by fire, it makes burning. So pretty much making Pyro even stronger. Some people are kind of hoping that, hey, Dendro might do something with Geo and give it a reaction and make it stronger, and Genshin was kind of talking about it, but I feel like it would have made things harder. Like, one of the things is Venti's like so powerful, they previously did something with elemental reactions and they made Vintig even stronger. So I think with that, they're really careful not to like come out with just a brand new element just to make things even more difficult. So Baizu is kind of like on the back burner for now. Like we keep seeing the chasm. Maybe whenever that comes out, that's when Baizu will come out. But they keep avoiding the chasm like the plague. Like we're in Inazuma. I think we might end up in a whole nother city or zone before they bring the chasm, which has been on the map since 1.2. Here we get to kind of see the dark side of Child, you know, him being a Fatui. They're kind of the main antagonists in the game, so, you know. Earlier on, our character was just like, I don't really trust you, and it's like, no, man, I'm a great guy, I'm really nice, and then it's just like, oh, well, it's not looking like it. Here we kind of get the backstory on Ninguang in the city, and kind of see, like, how important of a figure she is. One of the big things that she has is the Jade Palace. It's kind of like her, like, giant fortress where she like does like all of her work and kind of watches over Liyue. Now in 2.4 you kind of saw a bit in there where there's going to be a major appearance of the Jade Palace, so that's very interesting. So I don't want to spoil things too much, but you know, I'm looking forward to 2.4 mainly because of that, because that was kind of interesting and I was just like, oh well, that was kind of hurtful with things that happen at Liyue. Basically here is like she kind of has like this major information network. That's how she's able to kind of control the city and kind of know what's going on the outside world, also inside of Liyue. So having her vast network, what she does is she writes it down on this board, and once she makes a decision after looking at the board, after gathering all of her information, she rips up the pieces of paper and then just scatters them into the air. So a lot of the merchants in the city, because it's a merchant town, where it's just like, wow, you can even get a scrap of paper. That valuable information is worth so much, it's priceless. I'm going to end it right here, guys, because otherwise it's going to end up being a half-an-hour video, and I just think that's a little bit too long. So go ahead and call this part 1 of day 7, and look forward to part 2.